I missed one HOA payment and the president called an emergency meeting to publicly shame me. She had no idea what she started. The emergency HOA meeting started at 7 p.m. By 7:05, Barbara had already called me an embarrassment to the neighborhood. I sat in the front row because she asked me to. Wanted everyone to see my face while she went through her slideshow. Barbara had been president for 6 years. Ran unopposed every time because nobody else wanted the headache. She had a clipboard, a laser pointer, and the energy of a substitute teacher who peaked in middle school. The room was packed. 30, maybe 40 people. Most of them just wanted the free cookies. A few were genuinely excited to watch someone get dragged. Barbara clicked to the first slide. A photo of my house. Let's start with the obvious violations. 4 violations in January, 6 in February, 9 in March. Barbara clicked through photos of my house like she was presenting evidence at a murder trial. At a certain point, we have to ask ourselves, does this person even want to be part of our community? I didn't answer. I just watched. The missed payment was the last straw. We've sent multiple notices. We've given multiple warnings. We've been more than patient. She hadn't sent anything. I'd checked. Now we're looking at fines totaling $2,000, plus the missed dues, plus administrative fees for this meeting. Administrative fees. That was a new one. I'd been looking into Barbara's administrative fees for 3 months, ever since I noticed the HOA budget didn't add up. $42,000 in community improvement funds. 0 community improvements. I'd requested financial records. She denied me, said they were confidential, so I went another route. Barbara turned to the room. I think we've all seen enough. I move that we vote on the proposed fines and authorize legal action if payment isn't received within 30 days. A few hands went up, then a few more. Barbara smiled at me. Looks like the community has spoken. I looked at Barbara, then at the stack of files she had on the table next to her. HOA financial records. I recognized the folder. I'd seen copies of those same records 3 months ago when I started looking into where our dues were actually going. I smiled. Barbara didn't like that. Something funny? Just thinking about how this is going to end. I stood up and checked my phone. Actually, Barbara, since you feel so entitled to run everything, I've decided to give you some time off. She blinked at me. Excuse me? As of right now, you're done. Well, technically, as of about 30 minutes ago when the wire clears. The room went dead silent. I just bought the management company, the one that runs this HOA, the one that employs you. Barbara laughed. You're lying. I held up my phone. Wanna call them? Ask who signs your checks now. She didn't move. But before you clean out your desk, let's answer one question. Where do our HOA fees actually go? Because I've lived here 2 years and I haven't seen a single improvement. Barbara's smile disappeared. That's not how this works. You can't just $42,000 in community improvement funds. I've seen the records now. Every check, every invoice. I pulled a folder from my jacket. 37 payments over 18 months. All written to a company called BH Consulting. I let that hang in the air. BH, funny initials. Someone in the back muttered, Barbara Hendricks. BH Consulting is registered to 412 Oak Lane. That's your house, Barbara. The murmuring got louder. Landscaping invoices for work that never happened. Security upgrades that don't exist. Community events that were never held. I closed the folder. You've been fining people for their mailbox colors while you steal $42,000 from the neighborhood. Barbara grabbed her purse. This is ridiculous. I don't have to stand here and you're right, you don't, because you're fired. I already said that. She looked around the room for support. Nobody would meet her eyes. Janet, the woman who'd clapped for her earlier, stood up. I paid $600 for a fence violation last year. My fence was up to code. Someone else. She charged me $400 in administrative fees. Another voice. My mailbox fine was $200. Barbara pushed through the crowd toward the door. She didn't say goodbye. She didn't defend herself. She just left. The room was loud now. People talking over each other, comparing notes, realizing how much she'd taken from all of them. I sat back down in my front row seat. The same one Barbara had picked out for me so everyone could watch me get humiliated. Funny how that worked out. Barbara tried to sue me for defamation. Her lawyer dropped her after he saw the evidence. The neighborhood filed a class action to recover the stolen funds. She had to sell her house to pay it back. The new owners are lovely. They introduced themselves last week, asked if I had any tips for dealing with the HOA. I told them not to worry. It's under new management.